Okay, Dobry den from my side. Sorry, we have to switch to English. Hopefully you understand me, but I'm sure that the IT committee speaks very well English. So my name is Hans-Christian Heidecke. I'm CIO from Volkswagen Slovakia, and thank you for the opportunity to tell you something about opportunity and risk of the digitalization. So, I put it more on the higher level, so in a general perspective. We as Volkswagen Slovakia, one of the biggest, or according to Forbes, the biggest company in the Slovakian economy, we have a certain perspective to digitalization. This is in our nature. So these are the 5 fields of actions you can generally distinguish. So first of all, the customer perspective. So most of you, or the IT companies and many of other companies, have this customer in focus. So we, of course, as well, but not in my presentation today. From the focus customer, we come to new business models, the second field of action, but actually I don't want to talk about this again today. My topic is the inside view of a production company. So we as Volkswagen Slovakia, we produce here cars, we don't develop cars, we don't sell them, we just produce them, and that's why I'm focused to this. And I'm focused to business processes, what is digitalization means there, chance and risks. I want to tell you something about it. I want to talk about what is the impact to employees. Will that change something? What are the risks? Many of us see the opportunities in digitalization, but of course, where you have light, there's shadow as well. And last but not least, I want to tell you something on a detailed example about new devices and infrastructure changes, risk and opportunities with this as well. So, but whatever you do in the new, more and more complex becoming world, you have to talk about risks. And that's why I put this chart here in my presentation. On the left-hand side, you see how we approach risks. That's our risk radar. That's the risk radar from IT, from my department. And we do it on several levels. So at first, we do it, of course, on a strategic level. So we have a certain view to certain areas of risk areas, technology, finance areas, competitors, and we check it on a I would say, quarterly base if our strategy still fits to the new occurring risks. And of course, we do it on a tactical way and on an operational way. That means with my colleagues and my team, we do it on a weekly base. On a weekly base, we detect new risks and we discuss it, we identify them, we evaluate them, is it really risky or not, and we decide if we do some countermeasures or not. And this helps to manage the complex world. Otherwise, you get really lost in the huge amount of work. Coming back to the business processes. What do we mean with business process and why we do the digitalization in the business process? That's quite clear. For us as a business company, the first bullet point, increase efficiency by automatization. That's it. All the other stuff somebody's telling you, I would say, well, nice, but we want to increase efficiency. That's the first point. And we are really glad with the new technologies to increase the data availability. Data as an asset, maybe some of you know this buzzword, we try to use the data as an asset. My colleague just give you one example how you can do it. I mean, it's daily work. Use the data and earn money with it. That's quite simple. And what we do, when we have fulfilled the first point, higher automatization, we increase the quality. That means if you remove the human being out of the production process, that means a robot does the work as he's supposed to do. So he doesn't make errors. Maybe in the first stage, in the ramp-up time, when you configure it, but in the series, he doesn't do it. Another point. But of course, unfortunately, we have certain risks. And here my first statement is, one of the biggest risks is the increasing demands on IT security and data protection. And unfortunately, this costs money, and this reduces your profit, maybe. But if you don't do it, you make no profit at all, maybe. So that's why it's really important. And one point to the topic of big data is the last point related to. Don't believe when you have all the data from your company that you know everything. There's a very, very high risk of misinterpretation of the data. And we have some experience with that. So don't mix what is the cause for the reason and what is the follow-up. Don't mix this. So just that's a risk as well. Coming to the employee, of course, opportunities. We get rid of all the heavy work. If we digitalize everything, you have robots everywhere, and we get rid of the, we call it red dotted working places, where the risk is very high that our employees get injured. So we get rid of this. And when you want to be a very attractive employer, you have to attract the new generation. The generation Z is just coming to work now, and you have to tell them, look here, we have the chance to work with high-end technology, and this is a high motivation for them. We all fight for the best laborers on the market. This is one point I would say it's a good thing to do. Of course, we have certain risks. I don't want to mention all of them, but I want to mention one thing what's not on the list. What we more and more see is a new kind of disease. That means we see that a certain behavior of over and underload of the people. I'll give an example. If we automate everything, the human being is just monitoring the processes. He doesn't work anymore in it. So he's sitting there monitoring it online, waiting for something that happened, and is bored. But suddenly something happened. And then the overload. He doesn't know what to do. In the former days, he has done it on a daily basis, but certainly it's a situation he didn't solve yet. And the machine was doing it before, but he is now in charge for it to repair it. And that's a kind of overload. That's a new kind of disease. We have to be very careful as an IT community to train the people that they are people not over or underloaded in the working processes. Okay, I skip this. Coming to the new technologies, I brought with me an example how we use new technology in our processes. So many of you heard about wearables, and I brought with me an example of glasses. So virtual reality, there are several wearables. We have gloves, we have watches, maybe some of you have some. We have many kind of glasses, augmented reality, virtual reality. That's just normal anymore in the new processes. But what we did, we combined the complete value chain. That means a car is constructed in 3D, and we use the data to train the people to assemble a car without having a car yet. The car is not just built yet or constructed, no prototyping, nothing, and we can train already the people that they are able to assemble a car. This helps us to shorten the life cycle of a car, because when the real car is coming, the people are trained already. That's very, very good. But no light without shadow. What we observed there, we have very good results in training. The people are able to do it with less training time as before. But we observed some symptoms of cyber sickness, so they get dizzy. So be very careful if one of you have to have the choice what kind of technology you should use. Don't use very cheap equipment for glasses. The people get dizzy and they fall down, and this is a high risk of injury. Of course, then you have some problems with necks and tensions. That's what we observed. And the last point, once again, a problem of generation. The older workers sometimes reject the new technology. But we want to keep them. So we have to train them, we have to motivate them that they use the new technology. Okay, let's coming to the end. So life speeds up, and I don't want to summarize this, and you know this. For me, very important is the last point. The last point, and it's a call to all the IT community, all the discussion, all the new technology we implement, we have to lead ethical discussions and safety discussions. So how far we want to go? How far, for example, we are able to track anything, any human being, any car, any device. How far we want to go? And if some lawyers are here in the auditorium, I just can say, take care about this, find the rules, and bring us the rules that we are on a safe area. Okay, thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Heidecke. If I may, just one comment. You scared me a little bit because you used exactly my pessimistic picture, because you had a factory without workers on it anymore, and your first priority was to increase efficiency by automatization. So I would like to ask you about your personal opinion, whether we could expect anytime soon, when people are on strike, that in Volkswagen, that it won't be because of high or low salaries, but it will be because they will not have any jobs.
Okay, well, I don't think that we will ever have a factory without human beings. I don't think so. But one thing is clear, we increased automatization, and we need different profiles of worker. So, and if we look to the Slovakian market and to the education here, we have really think about the right education. We need more programmers, we need more IT guys, we need more a mixture between mechanical engineers and IT engineers, and that's what we need, that's what we are looking for. So, and these guys will ever have a job, ever, and even more.